It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. So I've made some videos for the brothers, made one for the sisters, and it's only right that I make one for the young children, the youth. That way we will encompass the whole family unit and reconcile all parties back to the Father. Now, of course, this isn't going to be a video for kids that are very young because they won't be able to understand a lot of things that I'm talking about. So we'll say you teenagers. If you're a teenager between the ages of 13 to 18, or if you have teenagers, this applies to them. Okay? All you have to understand right now in this part of your life is that you are under major attack from the world that you live in. And this is not to scare you. It's not to put fear in you. Because Abba Yah takes great pleasure in the young ones. You young. Because you're still in the midst of your innocence. You're just now coming into the age of accountability. See, being able to hold yourself accountable for the things that you do. So Abba Yah has given y'all much grace. But at this time in your life, you're going to be under much attack. Because this is the time when you're going from childhood to adulthood. And Satan seeks to destroy you at that pivotal point in your life. He seeks to steal that best years of your life from you by wasting your youth. Now your father, he already told you not to waste the waters of your fountain out here just spreading them all over the earth. Which is your strength, your vigor, your youth that God gave you. Not to waste it, but this world is going to try to get you to waste it. And there are going to be many people that are going to come into your life that you may not even understand. They were sent as warnings to you. And a lot of what I'm telling you today, you're going to have to look back in hindsight and say, wow, he was right. That's just the way it is with some things. But that's not going to stop me from giving you this warning that to honor your father and your mother as best as you can, as much as it be in you to dwell peaceably with your parents, because they're only doing the best that they know how. You can't expect your parents to be perfect and have all the answers and know everything that's best. They can only do what they know. As much as their cup of knowledge has been filled up, that's the only way they can fill your cup is what they got. And unfortunately, some parents may not have much. So know that when you're dealing with the stressful times that you're in of transitioning into adulthood, that you're going to have to also dwell with understanding with your parents and your friends. And you're going to have to expect them to dwell with you with understanding as well. Because you're going to push back wanting to be yourself. Wanting to be the individual that you feel you are on the inside. But the key is to remain blameless in everything that you do. Not to just express for the sake of expressing, but expressing truth. And the only way you can know truth is to know Abba's word. And I know that in this day and age, that's not a popular thing for you to hear. It's not. And I know that the world you're living in, with all of this back and forth arguing about religions and about churches and about people being exposed and all kinds of things going on, it's hard to know who to trust. So I would advise you not to listen to me or any man, but to listen to Abba's word. And then if a man or woman talks to you, then you will be able to know if they're speaking the truth to you. You won't be deceived or tricked if you know Abba's word, because then when they speak to you, you will know they're speaking his words. And the main thing for you to know is what love is. So you have to go to God's word in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and start reading that. You must do it. You must. Because you're coming into an age now where love is going to be thrown around left and right at you. You young girls, believe me, when you come into that stage where you change and your body change, love is going to be thrown at you left and right. But it is imperative that you actually know what it is. That way you know whether that young man is lying to you or not. Same thing with you, young brother. That way you know whether that girl is lying to you or not when they say they love you. That way you know whether your homeboy is true or not when he say he love you. When you've read 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and now you know what love is, now you can really judge whether they really are loving you or not. And in my generation, most of us fell off because we didn't know what love was. We didn't know what truth was. So when people told us things, we didn't know. Like I said, your parents, they didn't know. They were without love. They were neglected. And if you're from the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes on this earth, you young ones, listen to this. You may not have known that you were an Israelite. You may not have known that. You may have thought you were just black or African American, but you're an Israelite. You are the people of the book, so you must read that and know your heritage and know where you come from, what is required of you specifically. That there shall be no whores of the daughters of Israel. So if you're a young woman, then know that today, that Abba requires that you not be a whore. And there shall be no sodomites of the sons of Israel. So you as a young man must know that you must not be an effeminate man or a sodomite. But if you never heard that, then you feel like I can express and be whatever I want to be. You must be truth. So you must know truth. And that is why I am telling you as your brother to go back to the word and look at it. Find out what love is so that way you will know and you'll be strong out here in this world. Read where it says, marvel not if you're cast out. Because among your friends, you're going to be hanging around liars. Most of them are going to be liars. Prepare for the betrayal of your friends letting you down, of leaving you high and dry, and not ever apologizing about it. Prepare now so that way when it happens, you won't be hurt, you won't get knocked off, you won't lose no sleep. When that girl break your heart because she was already a promiscuous girl when you met her. You was a virgin, but she had already been with 10 people. It's best you move on your way. I know you think she pretty, young man. I know you think she is. But she seeks to steal your youth from you because her youth was stolen. So don't let the cycle continue. You put a stop to it by saying no. And letting that young girl know what her defect is. Tell her the truth. Be the new man, young man. You be him. You be strong today. You make up for the losses of our fathers. You put the blocks back into place with the foundation stone. You do it. You say, okay, yeah, I see what's going on. This world's going the backwards wrong way. So at a young age, I'm going to decide to go the right way. That way I don't destroy my life. Instead of having to find out the hard way that if I partake in anything, listen, young people, if you partake in anything in this life more than which you should, you'll suffer. So then moderate yourself with everything, and then your life will be smooth. Your life will be smooth. If you see something and you notice that it's not having a good effect on that person's life, well, there's no need in you bring it into your life, right? Don't get caught up on that disease. It won't happen to me. It won't happen to me because it surely will happen to you. If you're promiscuous, you will get an STD. You might get AIDS. You could lose your life. It's not like that's just what happens sometimes when you're promiscuous. When you are promiscuous, you will get warning shots at you. Whether that be chlamydia, whether that be syphilis, whether that be gonorrhea, whether that be scabies, whether that be crabs, whether that be whatever it is, a pregnancy that you don't want, that you got to get an abortion and all this other, to solve all of those problems right there and not have to even endure any of that embarrassment or shame or any of those problems in your life. Do what the Father told you to do. I know this seems like an old thing what I'm telling you. This seems like an outdated thing I'm telling you. But there's really only two ways to go. The way of the Father or the way of the world. And the world that you're in is increasingly getting worse. Sorry to tell you that. It's increasingly worse. You're in the last days. You're born into a perilous time where the scripture says that you're the ones that I'm talking to today. You will be disobedient to your parents, Abba says. So if you have a heart for God, you young one today, if you have a heart for God, come unto him. Come unto him and cry out to I am for your salvation. He will surely come into your life and guide you in all truth. But you must go to his word. And as long as you run from that and thinking you'll find something out here in this world that will give you what you're looking for, you won't find it, beloved. Little ones, you won't find it. You won't find it. So it is important that you dwell with understanding in your house today, listening to your mother and father, chewing their words like meat, taking the pieces of the meat that are good and taking them into your body, but the pieces of meat that we don't like, don't we spit them out into the trash? Take the bone, we throw that out. Do the same thing with your parents, because they're only doing the best they can. And don't get me wrong, some of you dwell among evil parents. It's the way it is for the elect. And if you're young and you know that you are one of the elect, if you've had the visitation where you know that you are one of the elect, then just know that you dwell among people that may treat you harshly. But it is a training ground for you. That is why you're here. Training to become what you are. And it may take the mother that you have and the father that you have and the sisters that you have and the mistreatment that they may do to you to bring out what you are. It may take that exact ingredient in your life. So do good as much as you can, even when you don't get the accolades, even when you're talked harshly to in exchange. It doesn't matter what they do. It matters what you do. And as long as you're doing the right thing, then you can stand justified before the Creator who created your mother, your father, and everyone else, including you. So y'all little ones be blessed today. And you parents who hear this video, if you have children, share this with them. And y'all listen together. And y'all be reconciled with the Father. And let us all come together under the banner of the Father of truth and love today. And listen to his words. Silawam Israel.